Hey y'all, hope you enjoyed this video. I created it to help my aunt out, and my niece suggested that it'd help more people too, so I'm uploading it. And maybe you like it, maybe you don't. That's okay. I'm learning, and I'm a stay-at-home mom. I got twin toddlers and a teenager and a hard-working man, and a father-in-law likes to eat. So with the price of everything going up, we gotta figure out how to store all this food so we can feed our families. I hope you enjoy it. Alright, I've got my cans sterilized and drying. I got my pressure cooker just heating up, and I'm fixing to cut up my meat. I got this London broil on sale. Fantastic. So I'm going to try to can like 5 quarts of this. I might only get 4 depending on how much fat is in here, so we're going to see. Okay, so when you're cutting your meat, you don't want it too big because you want to make sure this or too small. So you don't want it too small because then it'll just fall apart. But you don't want it too big. That way it makes sure that the heat can get into the entire center of the jar. Make sure it heats all the way through and cooks all the way through. So what I usually do is go like a 3/4 by 3/4. This is about as thick as I would want it. So I'm just gonna slice 3/4 slices and then chunk them. And then I'll show you. And then you also want to cut off any excess fat. You don't have to go crazy, but any extra fat that you see, go ahead and cut it off, because if you have too much fat in your meat, it won't seal properly. It'll prevent it from sealing properly. So that's very important. Okay, so I got my first one cut up, so I just want to show you the chunks for the red meat. If you would do chicken's the same size, so I would do the same size. Nothing really too thick. So you can even cut this in half and it'd be fine, but nothing that small. Half is probably as small as you want to go. But I'm going to do these because I want to use this meat in like a beef stew or a beef stir fry. So I'm going to keep them kind of big, but all consistent. That way they cook good. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and just load one for you. Shove it in. And you want to lightly pack it. You don't want to pack it down because when it cooks, it'll expand, and the juice it makes. You add a little bit of juice to this. I'll show you, but you don't want to like stuff it. So just kind of lightly pack it. Just kind of get all the little. And then you want to leave the head space. Don't go no further than that. You want 1 inch. This is 1 inch. And then 1/4 down here, okay? Alright, I got my cans all packed. My canning box broke or was messed up when I got it, so I put all my extra salt in different jars that I have, but this is actually just canning and pickling salt. You can use regular salt, but it's going to give you a cloudy look and it's not going to look as good. Clear jars, they don't look as good, but I definitely don't want them cloudy, so definitely use the canning. I got quarts, so do 1 teaspoon of salt in each one, and you can add more flavorings. I'm going to do this first batch with just salted, and then my next ones I'm going to add different seasonings and vegetables and stuff like that. So just 1 teaspoon of this in each one, and then we'll fill it up with water. So I'm waiting on my liquid to heat up. I'm using my little canner, or my what do you ever call this thing, a water jug. Instead of boiling the water, let it boil, and then I'll just pour a couple inches in each one, and then we're going to be ready to go in the pressure canner, and I'm going to start the next video there. Alright, I got them all sealed. You got to make sure you wipe down the top, seal it. I got a couple inches of water, and all of them hot boiling water, and I've got my pressure canner heated up, that way it's good temperature. And here we go. Ooh, all packed in there. Ready? Alright, it's all closed in. Now comes the waiting game. You want to heat it up, and you gotta wait for the steam to come out. Waiting for my steady stream of steam now. While I'm waiting, I learned this myself, so I do a weighted, my pressure gauge, it's a weighted gauge, it's just not a digital. So they all usually come like this.
and then it has 2 weights. Unless you're above 1,000 feet elevation or whatever, most things are going to be done at 10 pounds of pressure. So you just put the 1 weight on it. I store this into my drawer in case I ever need it, but that's going to be my 10 pounds of pressure. Alright, got some steam coming out. You want to get a steady stream of steam, and then you set a timer for 10 minutes. Let it steam for 10 minutes before you put your weighted gauge on. Very important step. Got my steady stream. Got my timer. While everything's doing, I take this time to make my label so I don't forget. So, good step to remember. I'm going to show you what it's doing so you don't freak out. So it is going to spit out some extra water, just steaming, you know, doing its thing, counting on down. So this is completely normal for those that are starting the process. Freaked me out the first time because I was like, oh my god, how's it going to vent at this thing? So anyways, that's why you learn your equipment. And one thing I forgot to tell you in the beginning is my canner tells me to have like 3 quarts of water in the bottom. You don't want to have any less or any more because you don't want to run it dry, and you don't want to have too much because we're not water bath canning. So just make sure you read according to your pressure cooker how much water to have in there, because you don't want to have too much. All right, we are there. And so that steam is hot, guys, right? So what I always use, and you just stick it on there. And this is the scary part. So you want it to come up pressure. So it's already bringing pressure. See that popped up? So it's already going to start pressure. So now we just need the pressure to rise. And this is where you want to stay by your stove. Don't walk away. Don't do anything else. Should have cleaned and do anything else before this part, just to get it, because you don't want it to have too much pressure. It can overcook. So we're going to just wait and then adjust our flames, because I'm on the gas stove, so it's harder to get that to stay. So you just got to play with it. I usually go down to like between the 2 and the 3 once I get the pressure built. So I'll show you what it looks like once it's at right pressure. Alright, it's starting to come up to pressure. Took about 10 minutes so far. That's why I say just stay by your stove, because it can take anywhere from 10, 15, 20 minutes. Just in the area, you can clean or whatever, but just be present, because once it starts rocking, you got to get it down to right pressure. So it's just now coming up to pressure. And that's about how you want it rocking. But I know that it's too high right now, so I'm going to go ahead and start adjusting down. You want to adjust, if you're in a gas stove, you want to adjust it slowly, because you don't want to lose the heat. But you don't want it rocking fast, like too fast. Like this, that's still too fast. Hold on, I'm going to adjust it. Alright, I've got it down. Like I said, it stays between like 2 and 3. Try to go down just a little bit more. But once you get it where it's going to hold that pressure, then go ahead and start your timer. What I have found that most meat, you're going to can 10 pounds of pressure for 90 minutes. And then at the end, you're going to let it come down 10 minutes after the 90, and then you're going to release that pressure. I'll make a video for that too, so you understand. Make it easy. So now I'm good. So 90 minutes, here it goes. So I'm coming up on the end here. About a half a minute left, and I just want to say the next steps are very important not to forget. So once my timer goes off, I will turn off my heat and then set a timer for 10 minutes before I do anything. So 10 minutes, and then I will remove the weighted gauge, let all the steam and all the pressure come off before opening my canner. That is very important. 10 minutes. Timer goes off. There it is. Turning it off. 10 minutes. Alright. Set it for 10 minutes. You can see that the weight is already, starting to slow down. Losing pressure. And then 10 minutes to fully get rid of all pressure before you remove that. Okay, it's been 10 minutes, and so, look, glove, it's just going to be hot. And then just as soon as that stops steaming, you can basically remove the lid. So. Alright, all the steam is gone. On mine, you twist it. So, I twist it. And got my little tool. I'm going to transfer everything to the rack. Yay! Okay, got them all transferred. Sorry, I'm whispering because the babies just went down for a nap. They'll sit here for 12 to 14 hours, and if you stand by, you can actually hear them when they seal. As they start to cool down, you'll hear that pop, and that'll be it sealing. So, we'll see. Looks good. Some canned beef. Nice. They all sealed. I did make 2 things of tomatoes yesterday. I'll do a video on that another time. Ooh, so excited. Now I get them all cleaned up, labeled, and stored away.